Morning. How's everybody doing? It's been a minute since I did a coffee talk. Been politely asking for help on what to talk about. Now it's getting ridiculous. Nobody's saying anything. So I'm gonna quit being nice. Imagine if you were trying to make a video, but you didn't know what to video about. Like it'd be like impossible. But today we're going to talk about being level and the fact that I don't give a shit about it. Usually. It's like a big thing, tow behind campers and, you know, the drive-in RVs and stuff. They have these little feet that go down and typically take the wheels off of the ground, or just take a lot of the weight off of the wheels, and supposedly stabilize the camper slash RV, and also they make it so the trailer of the RV is level. I don't got them feet. So this thing, it shakes. Like everything, every movement, like you feel it. Not so much now though. It is a bit stiffer with that new suspension. So that's cool. But level, right? So I don't really know why it's a big deal. Maybe there's just some like petty people. I would imagine for like a real RV or camper, it might be a little bit more like important due to I don't want to say their complexity, because they're not really any more complex than this thing, which they're both fairly complex, but it's not rocket science. Where am I going with this? But maybe like black tank, gray tank type situation. My gray tank is very, very rudimentary. It's just it's like a 5-gallon jug directly under the sink. There's no twists and turns in the drains. There's no trap. There's nothing. So for flow of water, that could totally be an issue. You know what I mean? Like if you're sloped the incorrect way in one of those things, you potentially could have a drain issue, which not such a big deal for like your gray water, but say you're black, you'd have to have a really big camper with 2 toilets to run into that issue. You never know if he's scratching or if he's running. He was just scratching, obviously. So, yeah, where like if you had 2 separately located toilets, and obviously one of them could be directly over the black tank and just go straight down, but the other one would need some type of pipe to connect it to the black tank. And then also draining your black tank. If you're one of those people that's posted up for a minute and you're at a location that you can actively drain your tanks, you would definitely want it to be sloped, or ideally you'd want it level, I guess. In my opinion, I wouldn't want it level, and I'd want it sloped down in the direction of the drain. Just a smidge. Like have the bubble of the level just touching that line, like on the drain side. But Other than that, I mean, an inconvenient thing is like when you're not level. I don't know if you can see that. If you have drawers that don't like to stay closed, they will just stay open. So that's an inconvenient thing if you're not level. But I need to fix this. I said I was going to do this on Monday of last week. It's now Monday of the week after this broke. Or the second Monday after this broke. Anyways, we'll get to it, folks. We're going to get to it, I swear. I'm thinking I do a different segment and I do beers and builds. Not really, but maybe like a maintenance channel and a build overview. I don't know. Because I need to do a couple things. I need to fix that drawer, which is no fixing it. I need to install another piece, 2 pieces, to keep that thing closed. And I can gripe about the overarching issue of that, which was a great idea at the time, terrible idea in hindsight. It is what it is. And I need to install the outlet in this cabinet here. So maybe we could do that, do some live maintenance, some live build stuff. And then I can get all the Karens and the, what's the guy equipped? Chad. I got all the Karens and Chads bitching about how I don't know what I'm doing. Well, knock on wood, this bitch hasn't burnt down yet. So, take a hike. Alright, we were not talking about that. Oh, we were talking about being level. So there's some inconveniences with not being level. But I don't find any of them like that big of an issue. Typically, I'm not well, I usually am posted up here for the night. And usually that drawer is not broken, so it would stay closed. Except this past week. Where am I going with this? That I don't care about being level. Because it doesn't really affect me. Like I have none of my services like water or like water drains need level. Is it slightly annoying that when I put my eggs in this pan, they all go to the back side of the pan? Yeah, a little bit, but I just make sure there's some extra butter there. Like, oh well. I just don't care. I really don't. It doesn't bother me, like, at all. Some people, and this all came up because when I went camping this weekend. Not camping, camping. So they say, at Thunder Mountain bike park up here in Massachusetts, and there was a couple people that were like interested in the vans. We got to chat, and they have like one of those cab over campers, and another guy just has a tow behind. And one of their questions was like, oh yeah, that's cool. So like was talking about how I traveled down and all this kind of jazz, and it's like, that's neat. Like, how did you like level yourself out when you go to those like remote sites? And I'm like, I don't. And he goes, oh wow, like that doesn't like mess with you? I'm like, nope. The only thing I do is like I plan my out of levelness. So I sleep with my head on this side of the van. So, and it's kind of convenient because I like my head to be like elevated. I don't think anybody likes to sleep with their head below their feet. Probably why you have a pillow. But anyways, but even more so, like if the van's leaning, I want it leaning towards the kitchen, like that way. It's obviously exaggerated, but it's like dual purpose. Number one, it's a nice angle to sleep on. I'm not worried about all the blood rushing to my head. And number two, it keeps those drawers closed if they don't want to stay closed, because it's sloped that way, so it just wants to stay closed. It's great. I'm doing this all out of order today, folks. What is going on? Dog, what are you doing? You dead still? That's good. Took him biking yesterday. Might have been a bad decision. It was 91 degrees out. We were in the shade for the most part, but it was still just hot as balls. It's crazy. Where am I going with this? Slope. Yep. I slope it to the driver's side of the van, being downhill, just because that's like the best way to do it. If I'm going to be on level, I want the driver's side down. And it's as easy as like either backing into that area or pulling in, like whatever it takes, you know. I could get those blocks that stack up, but I don't care. Like I don't give a shit. The 1-2 times I've ever leveled myself was when I was in Moab and I was gonna stay in this particular camp spot for like, I planned on like at least 2 nights minimum, and I ended up staying a little bit longer. It was a little bit topsy-turvy, so I grabbed some rocks and I just made a freaking rock pile and I put the tire on the rocks. I also did that in Alaska, in Valdez. Same thing. I was going to be there for more than one night, and I didn't have to go anywhere type thing, like, oh, I'm going to run out and go get this. Oh, no. Like, when I parked, I was parked. I wasn't going anywhere. So those are the only times I've, like, leveled myself. So I just don't see it practical for me to be carrying leveling blocks, because they make them where they're kind of compact and you can like stack them up and stuff, but you kind of need a lot of them, you know, because they're maybe like 1 inch tall, like Legos. It looks like they're pretty big. And okay, well, if I need to raise the tire like 3 or 4 inches, well, I can't just go from ground to 4 inches. I need to make a ramp, you know. So now I need like 7 Lego blocks, and that's just for 1 tire. So then I need one for the back, need some for the back tire. So I need 14 Lego blocks. Like, not willing, just not willing to do it. Yeah, so that's my story with leveling. Just don't see a purpose for it. And maybe, like, who knows? Maybe that's going to change, and maybe I'm going to hit the road someday. If I don't sell this thing, like, and I have it when I'm like, I don't know, 50 and retired. I don't know. Well, I won't ever retire, but like maybe I'm 50 and I'm like going to take a hiatus and be gone for like 4 months, 5 months straight. Maybe then I will be buying leveling blocks, because maybe I'll be grumpy and want to be level. I don't know. I mean, I'm pretty grumpy now, but yeah, I don't know. That's the story with leveling. Biking this weekend. Nothing broke. Yeah. The van got to be 100 degrees inside. That's a fucking issue. And that was, the fans were ripping, the sun deflectors were in the windshield. Like, everything that I could do, essentially, like, I was doing. Which is crazy, because Friday it's going to be the same temperature as it was on Saturday that happened. So I might be putting Pilot in like a dog daycare. I don't know. Because it's only one day. You know what I mean? Like, if it was going to be a week-long thing, I might be like calling in a favor. So like, hey Courtney, like, hey mom and dad, like, you want to watch Pilot? But it's like, it's a one-day thing, and I'm probably going home for the weekend, because I doubt they're going to pay us on Monday for the holiday. So for convenience wise, and there's literally one of those dog daycare things 3 minutes down the road. So we'll see. We'll see if the forecast changes. I doubt it will. That's something, like, and then I'm gonna end it. The forecast here, man, like, everybody, like, kind of, I don't want to say, like, complains about the weather, man, but, you know, that's the typical thing, you know, the only people that could lie and, like, keep a job, blah, blah, blah. Like, no, politicians keep their job all the time and they lie every day. Anyways, dude, the forecast here is, like, so accurate. It's absolutely insane. Like, these people bitch about, like, oh, they said it was gonna be 91 today and it was only 89. Fools. Like, you fucking kidding me? Like, bro, go to Alaska. Like, you want to complain about the weather and, like, that the forecasters can't get shit right? Like, go there. You have no obstructions here, like mountains, to influence any of your weather. And now, granted, like, the mountains in Alaska, like, they're not all absolutely massive, but they're enough to, like, influence, like, low-level air pattern to, like, make a difference. But anyways, yeah, I don't know. I think it's crazy. And maybe it's just here in, like, South Shore that it's really accurate. I don't know. But I'm talking, like, when the weather says it's going to start raining at 9:30, between 9:15 and 9:45 it starts raining. That's pretty freaking good, man. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm giving them too much credit. I think that's pretty fucking good. But whatever. That's all I got. Nope, it's not all I got. Shower. Showering now it's not more difficult, but I definitely need to be a lot more choosy where I take a shower. You're asking why? Well, old boy here is not 6'7". Clearly, this is a 6-foot ceiling. I can stand up as tall as I want, and I'm not even freaking close to touching the ceiling. That being said, that's clean enough. Having increased the height of the van, especially in the rear of the van, when the door's open, right? I used to take a shower and, like, the door would be, like, between my hip and my knee. So, like, side to side, you look and you'd see some legs and be like, oh, that's weird. There's, like, some legs back there. Now, my shit's hanging out. Pretty sure my butt and my junk is viewable from the side of the van because of how much it's been raised, which is, like, not cool at all. Because I'm not in, like, the woods taking a shower, like, where there's absolutely nobody. There's a potential for, like, individuals to be nearby. So it's gotten slightly more difficult to navigate that. Not the end of the world. It's still doable. It is. Just, like, now I just find spots where I don't even need a curtain, because what's the frickin' difference? I put a curtain on the back, but you could still see shit from the side. Like, you know, like, what's the point? There isn't a point, so I'm just not gonna bother. Like, I guess maybe, unless I was in, like, a real crazy pinch, like I got no option, like, I don't know. But like, I don't know. Like, it still doesn't make sense. Like, why bother? Why bother? Like, you're still technically exposed. So, I don't know. Because that doesn't get by. Like, oh, well, I wasn't trying to. Yeah, so, well, you still did it. Like, anyways, that's enough rambling. You folks have a good day. Who knows? Maybe if I'm feeling froggy and maybe if Pilot's still tired tonight, we'll do some maintenance. Yeah. Cool. Have a good day, folks.